backstories. And also, we will be doing our weekly night shift predictions. And I'll also go over a bit of a ranking update, because my rank did change recently. But other than that, I think we are pretty much ready to get started with our first backstory of the night, and that's gonna be Bebop. Bebop. Forged by the hands of a widowed junkyard attendant, Bebop was more than just some scrap column laborer. He was the son she couldn't have. Together, they would work in the iron yard during the day and listen to jazz at night. It was predictable, if not comforting, routine. But now, Bebop's creator has fallen ill, and while Miss Shelley wouldn't approve of the activities that Bebop does at night to pay for her medicine, what she doesn't know can't hurt her. Bebop's backstory is so wholesome. Bebop's such a nice guy, and I love his backstory so much. It's very cozy. I mean, obviously the illness is kind of sad, but Bebop doing everything he can to take care of Miss Shelley. It's very sweet, and it makes me like Bebop even more. Now, I hate playing against Bebop, so it kind of evens out. But yeah, that is Bebop's backstory. Our next backstory of the night is going to be Mo and Krill. Mo and Krill. Mo and Krill are members of the Tunnel Rats, a group that help facilitate illicit trade and commerce between the boroughs thanks to a network of underground tunnels. But while most denizens of the New York underworld respect the work the rats do, every once in a while, a gang tries to exploit the tunnel system for personal vendettas. That's when Mo and Krill step in and remind the city what happens to those who disrespect their hospitality. Mo and Krill's backstory is really cool, and this character is like arguably one of the faces of the entire game. Everyone loves Mo and Krill as like a concept, and he's like a big meme figurehead. That being said, playing against him also very, how do you say it? Interesting. Because he's very annoying. His ultimate stuns you for like the entire game. But his backstory is cool, so he gets a pass. That is Mo and Krill. Mo and Krill. Alright. Our next backstory is Paradox. Paradox. An artifact of time in the name of a notorious thieves guild. One that prides themselves on constructing elaborate heists that target the most untouchable of individuals. secrets in celebrity paternity tests that have been stolen. Put it on display at a pop-up museum so that they can show the world that no one is out of Paradox's reach. Shrouded in mystery, each member of Paradox dons a mask and takes on the organization's name. They are everywhere. They are nowhere. And if they want something, they are inevitable. So, Paradox's backstory is pretty cool. I do like it, but I wish we had a little bit more to work with. It's still pretty, basic and not entirely fleshed out, but I'm sure we'll get more info about Paradox in the future. But that is Paradox's backstory. The last backstory that I want to read tonight comes from Haze. Haze. The Occult Security and Investigation Commission is a black box government organization that makes the CIA look transparent. It falls on the men, women, and entities of the OSIC to keep the country safe from sinister forces that are beyond the capabilities of local law enforcement. As a member of the notorious Sandman Division, Haze is routinely tasked with infiltrating the dreams of persons of interest to assess their threat level and, if needed, to put them to sleep. I actually really like Haze and her backstory. It's a very fun character to play, and I love all of the voice lines that she has with interacting with other characters, especially Rem. And I also can't wait to see what other members of the OSIC are introduced to Deadlock. I'm very excited to see what they do with that organization. I think it could be really cool. But yeah, that is Haze. Those are all of the backgrounds that I wanted to read tonight. And the next thing I wanted to talk about is a little bit about my ranking. I've been playing a little bit more recently. versus Abrams. And this is going to be a really good series, I think. I think Abrams definitely has what it takes to win this week. But I am going to pick Loki W. They seem to have really found their stride with their new team. And I'm excited to see their chemistry kind of grow as they continue to practice and get better with every night shift. So I'm going Loki W as the EU champs this week. Next up, we have Game 1 in North America. And I believe that's gonna be Melee Creeps versus FPSL. I think there are supposed to be some qualifier games this weekend, but I'm not sure. Or maybe they're on Monday. Regardless, I think this is gonna be the matchup most likely. And I believe FPSL is actually going to win this one. Melee Creeps are just now getting due back this week, so they're kind of out of practice with their full team. They had to get a sub last week. So I think I'm just going to take FPSL. They did take a week off to practice with their new team, so I think they should be the better team this week. That brings us to our money match in North America, which I believe will be Floor Men versus FPSL. And this should be a really good series as well. I think the competition is a lot more close in North America. I feel like any team could win any week. But I'm going to give this one to FPSL actually. I think this one will probably go to a Game 3, regardless of who the teams are. The skill of each team is just that close. But I am going to take the new FPSL roster as the winner of the money match this week. I am still absolutely loving the esports scene of Deadlock, and just seeing a bunch of pro players from other games come in and check it out. Some of them also competing. Really, really cool to see. This game is gonna blow up when it comes out or goes into beta. It's gonna be so big. Definitely hyped to see the direction that Valve take this game. Alright, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about this week, guys. I hope you found this video at least a little bit relaxing. I hope you are going to get some good rest tonight. And I hope to see you in the next